Friends, we'll make a start then. I don't think anybody else is going to turn up. Um, what a stalwart crew you all are. Thank you very much for coming along. Um, yeah, the Walk of Faith. Anybody not been on the Walk of Faith before? Then for you, sir, I shall add a little bit more detail. Um, we're going to start here at George Eliot Gardens. George Eliot is an interesting character, somewhat in the story, because I'm a member of the Baha'i faith community here in Nuneaton, as one or two of the other friends are. And that tree over there is the only marker that we can physically say the Baha'is planted that. When was it? About 30 years ago. So that's one of the reasons we start here. And in other senses, it's a sort of a neutral point, because this isn't a matter of a particular faith group being dominant. It's a matter of bringing all the faith groups together and allowing us to walk from one to another and appreciate they're there. I've done this before, and one or two people who've been in town and for quite a while have never been into the mosque, for instance, or never been to the Gurdwara, or even knew where they were. So I think it's wonderful we can do that, to go to see these places, and also to talk with people, because as you walk, you can talk and you can swap around. So I think it's wonderful for that reason as well. And the more we can talk with folk, so much the better. I was going to say one thing, because today is also the commemoration of D-Day. And for me, I think a bedrock of my religious understanding and drive is because of war. I've got two sons. They're now in their 40s. They were never threatened to go to war. And if they did, I would be bereft. I don't understand how young men ended up going to war. It's just think about it. It's insane. And it's going on now today. It doesn't seem to be necessarily getting any better. People are at war. People are being killed. You'd think by this 2026 we would be doing things better than we have done in the past. And that's what D-Day is commemorating, the vast approach of the end of the Second World War, which was on particular issues of division and hatred. And it seems, in some respects, they haven't been totally eradicated. So this morning, I think it'd be nice for me to think about those things. Well, by the way, George Eliot is born 2 years after the founder of the Baha'i faith. She was born here, of course, but she had connections, oddly enough, in Haifa, in Israel. And the world center of the Baha'i faith is in Haifa, in Israel. And there is a street there called George Eliot Street. Just thought you might like to know that. If you didn't like to know that, forget it. But it was the case. So when we found out, it was quite weird that there was a direct connection from Nuneaton through to Haifa in Israel with the Baha'i faith. I'll finally say, of course, then the Baha'i faith, and this isn't the time for big lectures or any proselytizing at all, but I'll just say the Baha'i faith is all about what we're doing this morning. It's about unity. It's about coming together. There's one little phrase which is constantly on my mind, that the earth is but one country and mankind its citizens. We're all here together on this planet. And when you see it from afar, from space, people go, wow, we've got the wrong idea of what's going on here. It's all just one big, beautiful planet, and we're here. We're all very diverse. We have different ideas, different feelings, different beliefs, which, to be frank, have very common elements as well. But we're all here together, and we need to understand that unity and diversity are very much a part of what we're about. Wonderful to see everybody. We're going to set off over to the mosque, and my major job this morning is to try and not let the various communities overindulge us with their hospitality. Otherwise, we'll be here till about 5 o'clock, because they're wonderful. Each place we go, let's have some of this, have some of that, which is absolutely fine. So we will do that. By the way, I think when you get to the mosque, the one thing you will have to do is take your shoes off and cover the head. Yeah. Okay, right. Okay, and Ali, we've got a guard dog on with us as well. This is Ali, by the way. Oh, and that's Rachel. It's the lady. Ali's the dog. And so we set off to cross the River Anchor into Riversley Park. I won't mention everybody, but we were very fortunate to have Syed Sheikh, who was about to talk to us in the mosque, and my neighbours, Bal and Susan, who are Sikhs, and the Reverend Chris Betteridge was there from the parish church, and the very busy MP for the Nuneaton, Mrs. Jodie Gosling. Not forgetting, of course, there were 6 members of the Nuneaton Baha'i community. The joy of the Walk of Faith is it gives a good chance to talk with people, and eventually we made our way to Frank Street and the Nuneaton Mosque, and Syed Sheikh gave an excellent explanation of the purpose of the mosque and the beautiful interior of it too.
Sunrise is our first prayer time in the morning. It's just before sunrise. Because we're going through the summer months right now, we're going through the time where sun rises 1:26 in the morning, you know. So that's our first time, and then this is the midday prayer time, which is going to be taking place in a little while. That's when the sun is right above you. That's the time. That's the more late afternoon prayer, and this is sort of sunset time prayer, and this is the evening time prayer.
Muslims pray 5 times a day, and they wash themselves before each occasion. Here I've speeded up the demonstration that Syed gave us. The next stop was the Sikh Gurdwara in Marlborough Road, where we were met by our very good friend Colin.
Oh, hey, John.
Hello, mate.
You all right?
Yes,
You keeping
very well.
well?
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Oh. Every Sikh community is well known for its hospitality and community efforts, and they've always got food on offer. So with our shoes off and our heads covered, we entered the Sikh prayer room, where the book, the Guru Granth Sahib, is. So it's time to leave and make our way across Queen's Road into the park and on towards Abbey Street. We must make more efforts to connect with the Hindu community, but this is the Hindu centre that was opened in Abbey Street. Making our way across then to the town centre, where we were heading towards St Nicholas Church.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
Quite local to me.
Well, I used to work in the Yakeses, which was opposite.
It was such a good opportunity to walk alongside people and get to know them better.
Just got off the train. It's a good place to go to breakfast as well.
Right. I had a chat with these folks straight ahead of us. Give us a wave.
Got your QR code.
Yeah.
Good to see you, John.
I know one or two of the people from the Nuneaton Community Church very well. Very friendly. Here's the Reverend Chris Betteridge looking at the diagrams on the outside of the demolition work that's taking place in Nuneaton before we make our way over the road to St Nicholas Church. And then finally, the St Nicholas Church in Nuneaton, and really the bedrock of British and English religious life, the Church of England.
obviously at the heart of the Christian faith is Jesus himself, and so a massive part of what we do in church is reflecting on, learning or praying to Jesus. So the various different bits of furniture we can see are related to those key aspects of faith. The lectern, which is where service will be led, preaching will happen, the Bible will be read. There are some older bits as well which were used to help people in days before technology. The fact that we have screens is part of the reason, because we're a church that uses liturgy and words. It helps to project words, so you don't need to use books now. So those sort of things help to reflect that really. And then of course you've got the communion table. At the moment you can see it at the side. That moves to the centre. We've got communion service here tomorrow, so that will move to the centre tomorrow. That particular table is Elizabethan, so several hundred years old. Elizabeth the first time around, so that's very, very old. The communion table at the back, which actually probably looks a bit older and is quite grand, is Victorian. In fact, the whole of the chancel is Victorian. It looks old at the moment, but it's the new bit of the church. And you can see a picture on the side there where the chancel hadn't been extended. It's a crown appointment as well. So you'll see the royal coat of arms there at the back. It's one of about 200 churches out of 14,000 in the country. That was because Nuneaton, many, many years ago, was a very affluent place to live. And then at a similar sort of time, he gave this church and its living to a priory in Normandy, which at that time, Normandy, because of the Norman conquest, was seen as part of England. And then kings of France, well, as France became France, it was separate kingdoms. As it began to become France, it started to push back, and lots of problems erupted between France and England. And I think there's not been that many vicars that have been appointed by the French priory, but it's retained its French spelling of Nicholas, which is why it has that slightly awkward Nicholas without the H, which is frustrating if you put stuff in for sat-nav and those kind of things.
Well, that's it. Walk of Faith done for another year. Really interesting. Big thanks to all the folk at the mosque, the Gurdwara, and also at Chris at St Nick's Church. Thank you very much for your time and effort, and welcome, because the one thing I did say, I get a sense that it all went really well. We were welcomed in every place, and learned a great deal as usual, and had a good time. So thank you for attending if you did, and thank you for accommodating us as well. Oh, well, till next time, eh? Yep. See you again soon. Bye-bye.